Hey guys, my name's Metiri, and it's been a long time, and I've been promising people this for so long. And it's a more advanced dubstep tutorial using da 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 Massive. So, Massive is a VST you can get from Native Instruments, and it looks like this. And it looks complicated at first, sorry, but it's pretty simple, and we'll go over it as the tutorial proceeds. So, first off, you're gonna need for this tutorial, if you want like everything to sound like I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use Massive. I'm using Ableton, some of the built-in presets for Ableton. And I'm going to be using this Camel Fat 3, which looks like this. I'll be using that in this tutorial series. And I'll also be using, well, like later, like the last video, I'll be using Izotope Ozone 5 Advanced, which looks like this. And it looks all complicated and constipated and just a bummer to work with. But this is for mastering, putting the finishing touches on your song. Camel Fat is a distortion, and it's awesome. But I mean, I think sausage fattener is like the same thing, so you could use that instead. But also, one other thing that you're gonna need like caffeine, soda. I have root beer with me, and like a little snack to munch on while you do this, because you could be here for hours just making music, and once you get in your zone, you won't want to get up for anything. So just trust me. I have like a 12-pack of root beer right next to me, and I have saltines, so I'm pretty set. Well, let's get started. The first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to open up a new live set. I'm going to change into my arrangement view by pressing tab or this button up here. So tab is the easy way. I'm just going to drag my loop markers to the beginning, so it's at 1, and then I'm going to drag it to 9. So I have 8 measures, I believe. I'm just going to loop that. Now I'm going to change my tempo to 140. And I'm going to delete this MIDI track, and I'm just going to do Control T like 6 times, so I have 6 audio tracks. And this is for my drums right now, so I'll select the top one, go down to the last one, hold Shift and click it, and press Control G to group them all. I'll press Control R to rename the group to drums, press Tab, rename this one kick, press Tab, snare, tab, hi-hat, left, tab, hi-hat, right, tab, hi-hat, C for center, crash, and that's good. So, as you can already tell, we're going to have all these audio tracks to represent our drums. I'm just going to tidy this up, maybe color code it, just right click on that, change it to any color you like, just to make it nice and neat. You don't have to do this, but I mean, it makes everything nice. Now, find your favorite samples for each of these hits, and we can get going. So, I know I bought the, yes, I actually bought this one. I bought the Essential Dubstep Volume 1, which is like $100 or something. Don't do it. And I have a certain kick that I really like. I love this kick. So I'm going to lay that down, and I'm just going to put it down on the first beat, and I'm going to hold Control, drag it over to the second beat, copy both of those, and do the same thing like that. Hold Shift, click over there. Now I have one on every first beat of the 8 measure loop. So now it's just like whatever. And now we gotta find a nice snare that we like, which I'm gonna look over here. I think it's this Headknot, Hedknot sample pack. These ones actually have some really good drum hits. Like they have a nice kick. I always used to use this kick. And they have a nice clap and some snares. And I kind of like this hard snare 3. If you downloaded the pack from my other tutorial, you could use those drum samples too. If not, I might include a download link with the samples that I'll be using for this entire series. So now we have a basic 1-2 pattern. So it's like kick, snare, kick, snare, and you can see it's every other beat. So that's pretty simple. Let me just check if there's a better snare in here. That one sounds a little bit more body. It has a little bit more body to it, so I might use that one instead. Yeah. So and now I'm going to start this off with the crash. That sounds pretty nice. And with my crashes, I always unwarp them. So what you would do is you click on it, go down here to your sample, and click on warp so it's not yellow. You do that. It like automatically does it with shorter sounds. They don't warp. So do that. And now let's find some hi-hats, shall we? Go back to my Vengeance Dubstep. And cymbals, closed hi-hat. I kind of like this one. And this is for the intro, so... Let me... And what I'm doing is, if I have overlapping hats, I always cut it so that if one's playing, another one isn't playing, like you just saw me do. They were overlapping, and on a real drum set, that can't happen. So it's just a personal preference of mine. You don't have to do it like that, but I do. So now I want an open one. I like this one kind of. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. So and now we can just copy this a few times. And I usually just try to get something glitchy sounding. not to like 1, 2, 3, 4 type hi-hats, because it kind of adds some groove to it. That's a bit weird, but I kind of like it. I could fix it up and it'll sound pretty cool. So kind of sounds empty at that one spot right here. So let me move that in to see how this sounds now. I can open this up a bit. Sounds empty right here. So what if I do this instead? Copy this again, put it over here. Copy this, bring it over here. I know this process is so fun to watch. I'm sorry, guys. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And this is life as a producer. I don't think it goes there. I think it goes right here. Goes right here too. Okay, so now it should be good. Okay, now let's open all these up, and you can do it one at a time, or you can select them and then open one, and they'll all open. And now you see how I put them as left and right? Now I can pan them out using this right here. So pan this out, maybe about 27, maybe for the right, maybe 25, 26. We'll have to see how it sounds. Center, just leave it center. And let's lower the crap out of these. These are so loud. For volume, I usually press tab to go back into my live session view, whatever it's called. Yeah, session view. And what I would do is right here, you can see my mouse, just drag this up all the way. Select all by Control A. Drag it over a little bit just so you get those numbers. Drag this one over a little bit just so you get those numbers. And now, if you watched one of my other videos on like mixing or something, just do that. Try to get these all the way you want them. Let's try to get the kick to like 8 or 7, like mid 8s right here. Right now it's at like mid 9s. And then lower the crap out of these. These things are so loud. I try to get my crashes around 15, like lower than everything else, so except for like the hi-hats, but they have to be pretty low so it's not like overpowering your drums. So now that sounds pretty good. Now if you've never used returns before, we're going to do that. Go into your devices manager, or your device browser, sorry, and go to Reverb, and just drag it on to that track. Now let's change the quality to high, and let's put it up to about 65 for the dry wet. Put the decay time to 2000 right now, and then just drag it. Well, I guess you could do 1750 for your decay time. So now we have a reverb on our return, and this is where the sends come in for our drums. What we're going to want to do, go back to our normal view like this. Nope, can't do it. And just listen to see how the reverb affects your certain hits, like this one. I'm going to put this on -25. And I'm doing that just by right underneath the volume to the left, there's a little box. And by default, it's -infinity. So just play with that until you get a nice sound. Don't drench your main hits like your kick and your snare and reverb. It's not the nicest sound. I mean, I usually drench my hi-hats in reverb. But you have to lower the volume again because this reverb amps it up. So let's go back and take it out of solo. Bring down our crash a little bit more. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And now that's gonna be the end. I probably went on way too long. Way too long on the drums. I'll probably cut it, but whatever. So there we go. We have our drum set up. We have a nice 8-bar loop, and we can switch it up, which I'm gonna actually play around with the kicks so we have a little bit something different. Done. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. My dog is spazzing out. Da, 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 da. Hold on a minute. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And let's save this first. Let's put it to where all my other ones are. Damn it. Go! Right here, projects, dubstep. And let's save this as dubstep tutorial. Tutorial. Okay, and so that marks the end of making the drums for your dubstep song. And now let's go on. Well, I mean, you can follow along in the next video. So thanks for watching, and hope you guys stay tuned.